Alright, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, if I can't hear you and you can't hear yourself, then Mike's not close enough.
Keep it a little farther away from him. Let's try again.
Is that better?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn the volume up as well so you can have a clear, crisp sound of the voice.
28 left at Alpha, clear for takeoff, 73015.
Alright, so we got to wait. It's going to warm up. The clutch is also going to engage. That's actually going to tighten the belts that are on there, and that's actually connecting the engine to the rotors. Hopefully it won't take too long to warm up because it's been running around all day.
Temperature 20, 2.7, altimeter 2997. Visual approach runway 28 left in use, landing departing runway 28 left, runway 28 right. Notices to airmen, caution for an obstruction, crane 1.55 nautical miles west northwest of the departure end, runway 28 left. 160 feet AGL flagged. UAS operations are in effect. Check NOTAMs. Check on the craft hazardous weather advisories in effect for California coastal waters. For more information, contact Highwatch Flight Service frequencies. Advise contact, give information, Juliet. Hayward Airport information, Juliet, time 0154 Zulu. Wind estimated 28017, visibility 10. Sky conditions 2 clouds 1000, 20,000 scattered. Temperature 20, 2.7, altimeter 2997. Visual approach runway 28 left in use, landing departing runway 28 left, runway 28 right. Notices to airmen, caution for an obstruction, crane 1.55 nautical miles west northwest of the departure end, runway 28 left.
Alright, so it's already warmed up pretty good, so that's good. It's been running all day, so that's helpful.
Probably the first time when I managed to understand what he's saying.
You gotta speak up a little louder, I think.
Basically, that was the first time when I understood what is basically people on the radio channel saying. Because last time it was something like complete noise.
Yeah, and actually, you can listen to it online. You can actually go online to find, live ATC. Basically, you can hear everything that's live. It actually helps you to do it. So your door's secured?
Yep. Have a good flight.
73015, thanks so much, over to North Carolina.
Okay.
Probably.
For now, just have you sit down tight. Let's be, yep, just like that. And we'll get you on the controls once we get off the ground again.
Alright, you maintain separation with us.
So we will try to see how you do with hovering after we're done with just today. Just because it is such a different feeling and everything. But mainly, the aircraft itself will basically function pretty well. As long as you understand that it's like a drunk person, you have to keep managing. It does not do well on its own. What? Alright, there we go. Okay, so, ready to go?
Yeah.
I'll just put this in front of my seat for now.
Hayward Towers, that's 919er 34.
When I come up, I'm increasing the amount of torque that the engine's using, and so I have to push the left pedal. But I only push it enough to get it so that it stops rotating. If I push it farther, it would actually rotate even farther away. And then again, it's just like if I was to find the right pressure, I can move this all the day long. This doesn't change the attitude of the aircraft. The attitude is what we really care about.
Plus 275, taking your request?
Request short approach for UAS left.
Custom 275, short approach is approved, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
2 left, short approach.
Hayward Tower helicopter 622 Mike Papa is over at helicopter parking with information Juliet, like a left downwind departure.
Helicopter 622 Mike Papa, Hayward Tower left downwind approved, out of below 1000 until you pass highway 92. Remain clear of Class Charlie airspace, runway 28 correction. Taxiway Alpha Echo, clear for takeoff.
Taxiway Alpha Echo, clear for takeoff, and we'll be below 1,000 until clear. Helicopter to my pump, thank you. So I have to hold the pressure forward to keep that lean in there. Once I get a little bit of speed, that will allow me to use that speed for a climb, because the aircraft will continue to essentially fly upward, sucking ourselves upward. We're just going to head towards the hills over there. You can see that there's a couple of power lines and other things that we'll have to watch out for. The normal altitude we'll climb to is about 500 feet. We have to kind of hold the altitude with our collective, but we don't want to grip it too tight. So remember that it will actually not hold everything the way it's supposed to.
Basically like this.
Yeah, you can hold it from below, from below, or just kind of cage it so that it continues to rotate. But I'll bring this down to your hands, and you can put your feet on the pedals, because you'll notice that the pedals won't do very much. And then you just hold that collective hand on the control here. And then I'll say, you have the controls?
I have the controls.
You have the controls. Fly us towards those hills over there.
Okay.
And just keep the attitude the way it is. And you'll notice on the video, when your attitude makes a change, your airspeed's going to change. And if you don't hold the vacuum, we'll start descending as well. So we do have an indication that let us know our altimeter. And we have our airspeed indication to show us how fast we're going.
Cessna 3-4 flight, runway 28 right, clear to land, traffic in the south pattern, Cessna. 28 right, clear to land, land 34.
And all we're doing is just basically holding her steady. It's a lot like being on an ocean. The aircraft will stay pretty steady as long as we keep controlling it. Now the attitude is, if we lose the attitude that we're at, we're either going to climb or descend, depending on the nose.
Okay, Mike Papa, frequency change approved.
Thank you very much, 2 Mike Papa. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. This is one cool area because it's actually got some kind of nifty grounds and different things around it. And hopefully it won't get nervous with me on my phone, right?
Approaching the Peru, traffic inbound for the parallel.
I would even love if you take some pictures of me.
Take some pictures of you? Okay.
Yeah.
The aircraft is actually pretty easy to actually perform everything you're doing. When we talk about the attitude, right now we're kind of what's called straight and level. When we want to turn, we just have to put a little pressure and lean the aircraft to where we want to turn.
Yeah, something like this, I believe. Oh, this time I do it a little bit better.
It's all just about smooth movements. You don't have to be aggressive with it. It's different than when you're in a hover. When you're in a hover, you actually have to be somewhat a little bit more assertive, and you have to be a little bit more movement to keep it under control. But when we're flying like this, the aircraft is very much more stable, and all we're really trying to do is manage the attitude that the aircraft is flying at. It will bump around because we do have seas that are a little rougher than others, so the attitude will kind of go up and down like this. But we have, as long as we keep the aircraft kind of on a stable course, we'll go right through the bumpy areas and then continue to fly. Now I think I told you last time too that when you turn, the nose, basically the compass will stay pretty much on the horizon the whole time. And that keeps your altitude. If you nose up, you're gonna start to climb, and if you nose down, you're gonna start descending. So we made it to the mountain, all by yourself, right? Let's go up this this river that you see here. So you just turn the aircraft to make it move.
BS hangar, Papa, I believe, south to our left.
And sometimes you have to pull back a little bit to keep the nose on the horizon. See how that attitude changed? And then you just go back to where you were. And then it's just boring again. Because all you're doing is just... It's really so much easier, right? Because this is the easiest part of flying.
Hayward Tower, Cessna 6032.
So go ahead and you can turn that way.
And what's the hardest part?
Hovering.
Left with information, Juliet.
Oh, I see some bicycles
Yeah.
down there.
Transmissions are cutting out. Hit a right base runway 28 right and report it.
I want to see some horses. Last time I saw horses on the hills,
Oh, yeah.
but probably not here.
I don't know. I don't know if people bring their horses over here. This is a different... This is called Camelback Mountain or Coyote Hills. This is Coyote Hills.
275, should approach for runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Oh, and we are basically next to this
Bridge.
bridge, yeah.
This is a Dumbarton Bridge.
It's not the paid one, yeah?
The Bay Bridge is way over there, behind us. This is Dumbarton Bridge. We went past one. That's the San Mateo Bridge.
Good evening.
People are laughing. I guess they're crazy.
So you said that we want to keep about 500 feet
Yes.
altitude.
So what happens if you keep we do have to maintain our altitude so that we're predictable for other people. That's pretty much the only reason why. The attitude itself, we can lose altitude, we can gain altitude, but we want to try to keep the compass similar or on the horizon. And if we lose altitude, it could be that we got a little bug in here. It could be that you lost collective. Let's turn this way. We're also going to avoid some airspace that's over here. I don't really want to talk to them. These will be the pink ponds that you'll see here shortly once we get past the reflection of the water.
You mean these ones?
Yeah. Straight ahead, they mine salt over here.
Yeah, there's a mountain, a hill of salt.
Yeah. Yeah, they take a bulldozer to actually move it.
Looks like some new neighborhood,
Yeah.
especially looking at the 3-4 floors. It's so unusual here.
These are probably going to be apartments or something.
Helicopter on station at 800 indicated. Take right traffic, right to it, right.
I have it inside 5
It'd be interesting to see how much they go for.
Left traffic, runway 28 left, runway 28
Oh.
left, Alpha, clear for takeoff.
That really looks much better when you get closer. It's like a Huawei phones, a back of Huawei phones, recent phones.
Yeah. It gets really, really deep pink.
Alright, so change to it left and we'll keep our pattern.
So you've done a really good job. We did lose a little bit of speed,
Thank you, traffic.
but we do want to keep our speed in the green area. Yeah, so this is one of the more unique places in the entire United States, possibly world. Basically a big farm of... farm of salt.
Okay, where would we want to go next?
Well, we've been out for about 15 minutes. That's how quickly time goes.
Yeah.
But let's go, basically, let's turn around so you can see the sunset, sunrise, whatever, sunrise, sunset. Let's go to the left, though.
Okay.
Because we got some airspace over there. Ooh, that's pretty. You'll like it when you get around the corner. We don't want to lose airspeed when we're turning.
Yeah.
And that's because that airspeed is actually very vital for us to continue. Yeah, look at that sun.
Yeah.
Do you want me to take control so you can take some pictures? I'll take controls for a little bit if you want.
I can get any pictures because my phone is stuck
Oh, okay.
deeply into my pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. See that? Like the reflection is like amazing. You see how it kind of goes over here. So we could just fly around here for a little bit if you want. We're totally safe to do it. Kind of got to get a little bit higher altitude. Our manifold pressure will tell us basically how much collective we're pulling. So we basically pull the collective to the position we need, and that will tell us how much pressure we're actually pulling. Let's turn, come back around again. Come back over to the left again. And you see those power lines and stuff. It's kind of the boundary I give myself for things. And then if you see that when you're turning, that compass pretty stays on the level on the horizon.
Come back, plan.
Do you have that stuff in sight?
Yeah, I got them over there. There's no right.
Jumper 2, roger, make right traffic for taxiway Alpha.
Right traffic for Alpha.
3275 traffic ahead and to your right inbound is a helicopter. Do you have the helicopter in sight?
I have it in sight, 5275.
3275, are you able to follow that helicopter inbound?
Yeah, I can follow him, 5275.
3275, thank you much. Follow that traffic in.
I will follow
You can straighten out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
735 Delta Sierra, traffic.
Left view.
Inside, right, that's here.
735 Delta Sierra, number 2, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Number 2, turn left, clear for the option, 5 that's here.
Jumper 2, taxiway Alpha, beam hangar 3, clear to land. Wind estimated at 280 at 10 and altimeter 2997.
Perfect, thank you.
Let's turn to your right. Now this time what I want you to do is to feel more comfortable leaning it farther.
Just 275, runway 28
So
right.
you can see that you can turn a lot faster, but you will start to fall if you hold that for a long period of time.
And we're starting to lose speed.
Well, we'll lose speed and we'll lose altitude because we suck ourselves around. So like if we turn sharp, we're basically taking away some of that vertical lift pulling us up and churning at aircraft. So whenever we're turning sharp like that, we either have enough altitude so we can do it,
And we probably want to put a collective.
and we can
A
pull
little
the
bit
collective a
holder,
little
yeah.
bit to hold that altitude, yes. Exactly. But it will turn super, super sharp. So now I'm going to show you what it feels like if we have that auto rotation and stuff.
Okay.
I'm going to take controls here for a little bit,
You have the controls.
but I want you to feel it, so stay on with me.
Okay.
Let me first find a place that I don't have to worry about, power lines or water and that kind of stuff. This goes, if I have to go all the way to the ground, I want to be able to be going to the ground without anything. So there's a little bit of a, looks like a dirt patch that's over past that building behind this thing. I don't see any power lines yet, but we'll make a correction if we have to. So if I lower the collective, it just makes the descent start coming down.
And I see that position of pedals changed a bit.
It did, because this is the only time that I have to push right pedal,
Yeah.
because I'm descending very quickly. So I kept the engine on during the whole time, because you actually can continue to do an auto rotation with the engine working. What it's doing is basically unloaded from the engine itself and continuing to spin without the power of the engine itself. And so it's just a fast descent, essentially. And when you enter it into an auto rotation, all you're really trying to do is establish the auto rotation, and that's where the descent comes from. The blades will continue to spin around because of the aerodynamic force. Let's see, there's a couple of good things over here. So now I'm going to do it if I was to lose the engine and have my speed essentially, I have to react. Now see, the RPM will start to come up.
Yeah, you just put the collective basically to the bottom.
Yep.
And now Still waiting?
Yep. Till I get to the bottom of everything. So this is a little bit on the lower side. Sorry, neighbors.
So basically, you not only put the collective up at the next to the ground, but you also put the cyclic a little bit backwards, I believe.
Yeah.
Of power lines?
Yep. We're gonna get out of here. But when you have a failure of the engine, the place that you choose to anything else like that obviously needs to have enough space for everything. But you use that RPM to the bottom. You have to maintain it. Now, lower RPM is actually going to. The reason that I kept the RPM low is it actually extends my glide. It makes the glide farther. So that way I can get a farther distance. So that way I can aim for more of a normal field. But in a normal situation, I would flare at the bottom and stop it versus rolling the throttle off.
275 runway 28 right, clear for the option. If you'd like short approach, is approved.
28 right, clear for the option, 5275.
Alright, I'll let you have the controls again.
Okay, I have the controls.
So you can see that it's a very abrupt, auto rotation, right? When the engine fails, it's a lot more abrupt start to get down to the ground, but then it just starts to come down to a normal, smooth transition towards the ground. That's, pretty typical. It first kind of makes you jump, and then you have to recover. Now, the auto rotations, the engine, when it fails, you'll see the nose jump to the left, because the torque is suddenly out of the aircraft.
And I need to adjust pedals.
You need to adjust the pedals, but you need to lower the collective first.
Yeah.
Because that collective is actually the most important part of it.
Information, Juliet.
Hayward Tower, helicopter 622 Mike Papa is over Coyote Hills inbound with information, Juliet.
622 Mike Papa, Hayward Tower inbound for Alpha and Echo.
Alpha and Echo, helicopter 2 Mike Papa, yep.
2 Mike Papa, roger, continue northbound report, turning 5 mile final for taxiway Alpha.
Report 5 mile final for Alpha, helicopter 2 Mike Papa, we'll continue northbound. We're going to fly in a northbound heading.
So by Mission Boulevard, something
What's
like this.
What's up?
I mean, flying from Mission Boulevard.
We're not from Mission Boulevard anymore, but we're going to head north and get about 5 miles away from Hayward, and then do a turn in towards it. So
I see.
Just fly to the north. You're head. See that little tree on the top of the hill? It looks like.
Yeah.
Just fly towards there.
I see.
All right, you have the controls.
I have the controls.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward and let you see what the CG will do. So this is a very unstable aircraft because I can move the CG around just by moving my weight around.
I mean Robinson 22 or just this particular model?
No, any R-22 is going to have that CG. Because it just is, R-22s don't have a huge weight balance limitation. And so whenever we move forward and back, we're actually bringing the weights forward and back.
275 from Roger, turn right at Delta, taxi to Green Red via Delta.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to keep us away from all the other people in the pattern. So they want us flying straight this way. And see the airplane that's also coming in for Oakland.
275 Alpha is approved.
So they're just trying to keep us essentially away from their traffic while we come inbound. Which is not a big issue.
But still shit happens.
What's up?
But still shit happens. Even with big aircraft.
Holding short at Zulu.
Well, airplanes need airports. Helicopters don't.
Left close traffic.
60330, Hayward Tower, left close traffic approved. Runway 28 left at Zulu, clear for takeoff. 28 left at Zulu, clear for takeoff, 330.
They always like to have us over on that side when I come in this way. The only other time is when we land in a different position of the airport.
Aren't we making too much noise for this neighborhood? Or is it okay?
Say that again?
Do we make quite much noise here or no?
No, not really. I mean, we're low. We're usually at 500 feet, right?
I see.
So you didn't really keep that so much, but when you pull up on the collective, don't let the nose go up on you. The nose will kind of try to go up on you when you're trying to keep our speed. So whenever you're climbing, you just try to keep the attitude and then just pull the collective up. The vacuum will pull us up, and the vacuum will keep us moving forward. So anytime the nose goes up, that means the vacuum is pulling backwards. It's pulling us to a stop. It's like putting the parachute out and pulling us from behind. Alright, so we're almost to Hayward. It's over there. But we're not 5 miles yet. We're just going to keep going north.
Okay.
That peak of the hills right over there still. We'll keep going.
That's 33 Sierra number 2, falls a Diamond Star short final, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Well, it looks
28
like
left cleared to the option number 2, 33 Sierra.
What's up?
looks like a bar nipple.
Disregard the 5 mile reporting point, continue in for Alpha, report a 2 mile final.
Reported 2 mile final, helicopter 2 Mike Papa, and you read my mind. I was just about to call him. That's so funny. I was just about to call because it was at the 5 mile. They know where we are, so.
Where do you see that it's 5 miles on this
I got
map?
it on here, on the GPS. So we could follow up the highway right here, or this Mission Boulevard.
Okay.
And so when we turn, get that forward, there we go. The next thing we're going to do is report 2 miles. So we have to listen for our call sign, so whenever you talk, you got to listen for helicopter. If you hear helicopter, quiet, because then we can communicate with the tower, and that's the one vital thing we have to continually do. Alright, see that light that's flashing? On there's a red light, and then there's some, well, hopefully it'll change. There's a mall over here, and we're actually going to go towards that.
I see.
Really white, there we go, so it kind of changed. That really bright sign, that's actually what we're going to go towards.
So basically,
it just changed.
It's time to do a turn?
Yeah, we can start turning towards the airport, towards that little flying thing, so. And then once we have our attitude we want, we can stop the turn, and that's it. Sometimes it's very small amounts of adjustments, and that's all you need to actually get it to fly.
Diamond 5 Delta Sierra number 2, falls that's a short final.
That's a pretty sunset.
Runway 28 left, clear to the option. Traffic 3.5 mile final for Alpha.
See how you're kind of drifting over? Try to aim just a little bit.
So, is this control tower I see in the...
Way up ahead?
Yeah.
No, that's San Francisco, way over there. That's the San Francisco...
I see the airport, I see.
Yeah, the airport's just beyond this little flashing thing. We just have to head towards that flashing sign. That's a mall.
Hayward Tower, Chopper 5, Juliet, Hangar 3, like a right crosswind departure to the north.
Chopper 5 Hayward Tower, are you requesting Oakland transition?
No, I'm gonna be on the station with you, just for
You know we have good speed.
Chopper 5, Roger. Be advised, they were kind of bouncing in and out of the Delta and the Charlie based on where they were.
Listen to what's going on. You got an airplane up here.
5325, make right crossing departure, report on station. Taxiway Alpha Beam Hangar, speed clear for takeoff.
5325, Chopper 5.
Helicopter 2 Mike Papa, traffic heading to your left, turning final for 28 left is a Diamond Star. Taxiway Alpha at Echo, clear to land, hover taxi to parking.
Clear land, so Alpha at Echo, and you're making me lazy not having to report. Helicopter 2 Mike Papa.
Number 2 Mike Papa, if you like, you can still report.
I was so close. Helicopter 2, Mike Papa.
2 Mike Papa, roger. Continue in and report a mile final.
Report a mile final. I've got a stew here. I'm kind of teaching too, so 2 Mike Papa.
Roger.
So he's making it easy for us to not have to report. So we'll report a mile in. So I want you to report.
Huh?
I want you to say helicopter 2 Mike Papa, 1 mile final.
And again, what helicopter?
2 Mike Papa. All you have to do is say 2 Mike Papa, 1 mile final. Pull the trigger when you're ready.
It's channel selection.
Nope. Just pull the trigger on the handle. On the trigger. Yep.
Okay. Helicopter. 6 to 2 MP. 1 mile.
Helicopter 2 Mike Papa, here we go, roger, thank you.
Yeah, we tried helicopter 2 Mike Papa. It was the first time.
2 Mike Papa, it's not a problem, everybody has to do it the first time.
Everybody gets nervous on that first radio call. It's amazing.
2 Mike Papa, for a minute, it's not used to doing, you should have heard me the first time I transmitted working local. That's the 330, runway 28 left, clear for the option. 28 left, clear for the option, 330.
So what's the real name?
Okay, so helicopter 2 Mike Papa is what we can short it down to. We don't have to say 622. But we report them just saying where we are. You know, that's all we're trying to do.
I see. So the last number and MP is something like Roger and whatever is encoded here.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to have this come down, so we're going to lower the collective. You see the
have
line?
The control?
No, I'm going to have you control it. So keep it over this line. So you have to kind of guide it to stay over the line. If it drifts to the right, you need to drift it to the left.
Okay.
So keep it over the line. See how it's drifting over to the right a little bit?
I see.
So you have to hold the pressure. Now as we get closer to the ground, we have to start pulling the collective to stop the descent. Now we got to keep moving forward because we're going to get all the way out to the end.
I see.
And then once we get to the end, we'll turn to our parking spot. Now as we get closer to the end, we're no longer going to be flying, we're going to hover. And hovering is actually a lot different.
You mean to the end, we're already next to the parking. Oh, you want
all the way to our parking spot next to our helicopters over here.
Okay.
Now you start feeling that difference, right? That vibration?
Yes.
So that vibration is what's called vortices. We're starting to enter inside of our vortices. So I'm going to have to start producing my own lift at that point. And see, the nose wants to turn to the right. So if I want to stop it, to prevent it from turning to the right, I have to push the left pedal to do. And then the attitude still is the most important part.
Are you going to be continuing more westbound, or are you going to be circling in that area?
And so when we're hovering, what we're trying to do is find the spot that will allow it to keep it where it needs to go.
Not here anymore.
And
the helicopter's left because it's gone, and we're here because it's supposed to still be here.
Cover 5, roger.
And then we just kind of operate around. And we have, see how this doesn't do anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the attitude of the aircraft that changes everything. So I'm going to let go of the control. You have the control. Don't let it pull. So you have to hold that door open.
Okay.
So you got to push a little bit to the left.
And where do we want to go?
Just hold steady. Right here. Just stay right here.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Push a little bit to the left.
Further south
Because it doesn't. No, you got to push to the left. Because if I let go, see how it goes to the right? So I'm holding pressure on the control. If I let go, see how it goes that way? Remember, I told you it's kind of like holding the door open.
Okay, thanks.
You have to push the cyclic this way. Push it this way. No, don't pull it. Don't pull it. You're pulling it. See, you're pulling the attitude. See, you have to push to the left. Push this way. Okay, see how it kind of goes to the left?
Yeah.
Push it to the left. Kind of nudge it to the left. Watch the attitude. So we're trying to keep the attitude flat. Now you're hovering.
Whoa.
Don't freak out. Just control the nose.
Cessna 33 Sierra, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Good job.
Okay. 33 Sierra.
You're hovering. Don't freak out. You just have to find the attitude, just the right spot, and then just hold it in that spot. So if you move your arm, you're moving the attitude. So don't move your arm if you don't need to. Find where it can stay stationary. That's where you're going to be balanced. I gotta hold just a little bit left, more pressure. There we go. There you go. See? Now pull back just a little bit before it goes. Don't let the attitude go. And you have to kind of shake it to keep it from moving. There you go. You're hovering. There you go. Good job. Good job. Good. Awesome. Now you hover in a helicopter. Cool. We're done. That's how you hover. You're welcome. That's how you hover a helicopter.
Diamond Star Advisal, Sierra number 2, following Cessna, heading downwind, runway 28 left, clear for the option.
Number 2, try to clear the option by the Sierra.
But you do it much easier.
Yeah, but I've also been flying for years and have a lot of experience and all that kind of stuff too, so mainly that's the problem that you don't have. But you did a good job. I mean, the attitude is, you can see, if you let the attitude go, it's just going to lean and start moving. But it won't necessarily move immediately. It just will wobble around and stuff. So you have to continually monitor the way the attitude
and do just a little bit of adjustment.
Yeah, but the thing that you found is that when I let go, it wanted to pull to the right. Your hand started moving to the right. So the reality is, you can move your hand and find that position of your arm on your leg, and then just operate around your wrist. But you got to find it. If you let your hand move, then you're losing that control of the aircraft, because it will go out of control very quickly.
So basically, fix the arm in the right spot.
Fix the arm in the right spot. You're basically, like I said, finding the door, holding the spring. If I let go, it's going to do that. So you have to hold the pressure there till it stops, and then you can operate around that to keep it from moving. If I want a specific spot with the wind and everything else like that, I have to keep moving that. That's how you do it. You just gotta monitor a freaking baby drunk person. I don't know. It's super drunk here. And this helicopter will do everything you tell it to do, as long as you don't let it just do something crazy.
By the way, why don't you let the engine stop?
What?
Why don't you stop the engine?
Why don't I stop the engine?
Yeah.
Because I have to cool it down. We want the engine to run for a lot longer.
I see.
So I'm cooling it down, giving it I have to wait 2 minutes actually. And then I can pull, discontinue using the clutch. And then once the clutch is done, I can...
Yeah. Last time you actually wanted me to pull this thing somehow.
Yeah, that's a carb heat, so that way we don't get any icing inside the aircraft. Everything has a function. I can tell you a lot of stuff, there's not enough time to really keep you busy. You take your headset off and just keep inside the aircraft. A little different though, right?
Yeah, actually I felt myself much more confident than last time. I've managed
It's not
to
rocket
pull
science.
some...
It's just What's that?
I have managed to get to make some good input on this cyclic.
Yeah, and you were able to get the thing to actually hover for a little bit. But it's the hovering. It's something you have to build some tolerance for, but also like, what's the word? I'm trying to think of a word. I'm going to think about it and I'll find it later. The helicopter, you're trying to build some endurance. Like your arm will actually get tired trying to keep it in a hover.
Started to feel it.
Because you're sitting there like it's taking so much to keep this thing from moving. Then your arm's so super tired, and then you're like, that's when you start to go all over the place because you're sitting there going, oh. So your arm will get tired. You have to build some endurance to be able to hover for longer, and that will actually allow you to do flying. If you can hover, you can fly, because you see that above the ground, it's actually pretty easy. And then you just have to know how to get in and out of the hover, and that's easier than hovering. Hovering's the hardest thing. Coming into a hover, going out of the hover, everything is the hardest part. But once you're flying, it's just, where do you want to go? Where do I want to go? Where's the next place I want to go? You know, what's my destination? And it then becomes just, go that way. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for the flight.
Yeah.